Hi everyone, it's 1 o'clock here in the East Coast. Here on the East Coast, it's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. This is Lucy on Lucy Mwangi USA. Welcome to the live. If you're not able to attend or participate in the live today, you can always watch it later after YouTube has uploaded it. So if you're watching it as a recording, thank you for watching and welcome. So in today's video, we are talking about why Africans in America are drowning in debt, escape the rat race, and money stress. That's the video title for the day. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to take a minute and be grateful for life. A lot of times we complain, and I know in today's video I've been talking about my financial struggles and this and that and the other, but I wanted to start this video and to encourage everybody to be starting the day with a dose of vitamin G for gratitude. I'm grateful for life. I am grateful for everything that I have. I am truly grateful. As I continue to watch the California fires and the tragedy that is going on in California, I take a minute to thank God for the gift of life and for everything that I have. And to send my condolences and best wishes to the families that they've lost their loved ones, they've lost their pets, they've lost the property, they've lost a lot down there from the fires. So, and the firefighters, all the first responders, we feel you. And I take this opportunity just to express my condolences and to say thank you to everybody who's out there helping the people down there in the West Coast. I was watching the news, one of the clips on the news, and there was this guy who lost everything. His name was James, and he lost his home in the fires. He lost almost everything. He was able to salvage his late dad's ashes and a few belongings. And he said, we lost a lot of stuff, big stuff, but it's just stuff. We're still alive. And he was grateful to be alive. So this Sunday afternoon, I am grateful to be alive. I am not just complaining about everything. I am cognizant of the fact that there are people who are in a worse situation than I am. And I thank God for what I have and for the people around me. And he said, there's truly more to life than material stuff. So while we are complaining that we don't have this, that, and the other, we should appreciate the fact or also appreciate the people around us that love us and are there for us. There's a saying that says, when you love what you have, then you have everything you need. And so I thank God for blessing me with much more than I deserve. Thank you guys for joining us on this live. Gathoni K, welcome. You're saying you just left church and you're glad to catch me live. Welcome. Karibu sana Gathoni. We just started. We're just, I think about only 3 minutes in. Our topic for the day is why Africans in America are drowning in debt, escape the rat race, and end money stress. That's the topic for discussion for today. I want to give a shout out to several YouTube channels first before we continue. Some YouTube channels have featured and reacted to some of my videos on their channel. Thank you for sharing these real stories and experiences by African immigrants living in America or across the diaspora. The first channel that I want to give a shout out to is, let me see if I can pull it up so you guys can support them and subscribe to their channel. This channel is called Afro-Grenadian Ambassador. It's a YouTube channel. He did a really candid reaction to my American Dream video. Thank you so much for that. There's another channel called Kamga Reacts. It's a reaction video. Thank you very much for reacting to my videos. And I think there is another one called, I think it's called Yanko Africa. It's a channel that helps people wanting to move to Africa make a smooth transition. I have put the links to their channels in the description box. Let's support each other, especially us young YouTubers. Thank you so much for that, you guys. All right, so let's talk about why Africans in America are drowning in debt. I want to pull up this video that has gained a lot of reactions from people. The video, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can share it with you. Okay. Looking at it, I don't even think it's enough. And I'm like, so what should we do? Should we do? You can have a good paying job and you're still not able to make ends meet. I have to rethink my life. So when I did this video, I was frustrated because I've been doing because my paycheck, I had just been paid and my paycheck wasn't cutting it. I wasn't able to pay all my bills for that particular pay period. We call it a pay period. So I got a lot of comments from people and with suggestions, with ideas, with solutions, with recommendations and all that. So today we are going to go through the comments. But before we do that, a lot of times what happens is we are in debt because of what? Because we are trying to keep up with the Joneses, because we are trying to please other people, because we have all these credits that is available to us, that is extended to us when we get here. Back home, I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any credit at all. So what we used to do is buy things in cash. So whatever you need to get, you would get it in cash. So when I came here, they extend you credit. They're like, oh, we can give you $3,000 and you can pay, pay as you go, little by little. So I was like, okay, let me try it out. And once you get into that, if you don't have the discipline, then you won't be able to. I didn't even have. You won't be able to catch up on your debts. You won't be able to catch up because it's money at your disposal. So you think it's your money, but it's really not your money. And then you go spending it because you know that you have like 30 days to pay it back, but you really don't have 30 days. You need to pay it off. If you don't pay it off, then it accrues interest, and then you get tied in this debt all the time. The other thing is this consumer debt. You go to the store and you're just enticed with all these things that we didn't have when we were back home. And so we just accumulate stuff. We continue to accumulate stuff, and we accumulate stuff, and we accumulate stuff that we don't even need. So those are some of the reasons. And then inflation, the cost of living, the check that we used to get before, the amount of money that we used to get before would be enough to pay your groceries, to pay your bills, to do fun things, to travel, to save, to invest, all that stuff. I feel like it used to be enough, but I think because the cost of living has gone up so high, the dollar is not matching the expenses. Like it's not stretching. You're stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, but it's still not cutting it. So we are not able to save enough. We are living paycheck to paycheck, regardless of where we are. And this video, by the way, is not to generalize. It's not to generalize. There are people that are living their best lives, and that's great. There are people that have no complaints. They have their financial situation in check. Everything is good, and they don't have any complaints, and that is good. This video is for people who are struggling, like common people who are going to work, hardworking people who are making this money, but it's not enough. It doesn't feel enough to sustain their life here. The life is just the money is just enough for you to pay the bills, and it's majority of people. So I'm not generalizing and saying coming to the US is bad, you're not going to make any money. Yes, you'll make money. But at the same time, I'm pointing out the reality of the situation that yes, we have the money, but there are other factors that are contributing to us not being able to keep that money in order for us to save, in order for us to invest, in order for us to do big things, since we are in this big country that is full of opportunity. So, what do you think are some of the reasons why we are not able to save our money? And a lot of people were in the comment section not understanding how a registered nurse can be broke in America. And it's possible, it's a reality. A lot of us are going through that. It's not just me. Since I did my first video of the American dream, I have had a lot of conversations with people who are doing different things here in the US. They're nurses, they're CNAs, they're nurse practitioners. They have different jobs. They're in IT. People they're doing tracking. They have their own businesses. People are going through the same things. It's just that a lot of people don't have the courage to come out and say, you know what, I have money problems. I'm struggling. I have money problems. Because it's shameful and it's embarrassing. But I am not. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with just presenting my issues and looking for solutions, because the first step is acknowledging that you have a problem. It's just like if you're addicted to something, if you never accept, or if you don't admit that you have a problem, no matter how many people keep telling you that you have a problem, you won't do anything about it, because in your head you don't have a problem and everybody else is crazy but you. So you have to have that acceptance and that admission of, okay, I have this problem and I need help. I'm going to seek help. So my financial struggles, I usually, I've been here for a while and I usually don't have these struggles on and off, but I'm able like to bounce back. But this time it feels like even when I try to strategize on how I'm going to bounce back, it's really like I have to scratch my head on what to do. So I'm going to read some of the comments from the video titled "African Registered Nurse Living Paycheck to Paycheck. Is this the American Dream?" And Jane Wakareti says, "This is a wake-up call. I need to have a financial safety net. Maybe literally pay myself first, while I'm not paying many bills at the moment. Also, please disclose how much you send abroad, as this figure can be draining if done." So right now I'm on a pause. I'm on a pause. I'm on a journey to just for self preservation and just trying to figure myself out. So no, I'm not sending any money. I'm not lending any money to anybody because I don't really have it. So as far as that, I have put a stop and a pause to that. But talking about paying yourself first, what does that mean? It means that you take a percentage of your pay every month or every 2 weeks, every week, however the frequency is of how when you're getting paid. You take a percentage of that before you start paying the bills, and you put it away as a savings, either to an emergency fund or to your savings account if you already have established an emergency fund, or whatever it is that you decide to do, whether it's your retirement account or whatever. But you're taking that money before you start paying everybody else all these bills by left, right, and center. You're taking a percentage of your paycheck and paying yourself first. Sometimes, like on that video, what I was saying is I was looking at that money and I was like, what bill do I skip? Because the dollar had been stretched, the paycheck had been stretched, and the bills were so many. And now that's what I'm trying to do to figure out which bills I can cut off. And somebody else said, FedEx said, you can do hospice or home care or long-term care on weekends, or begin to do uh, 7 times 12. I know it's hard on the butt. Like, what? 7 12-hour shifts? It's softer if you do 5 times 6 times 16 at the long time term care. It's less stressful than hospital and rates are higher for home care. Nursing is a hard job. Why not get your nurse practitioner so you earn more and work less? And of course, you stay in the urgent care or ER with overtime, you can easily gross $200,000 with less physical labor than being an RN. Then look for a spouse. Marriage abroad is for sharing, paying bills. It's never done for love. What? Yeah, that's the other thing. People are actually coming up my neck telling me to get married and to go get a husband just for the sake of sharing the bills. Guys, marriage is not just signing a paper. I've been married before. I don't think that is a solution. I don't think that is a solution. And I know you guys have the best interest at heart for me. I know you have my best interest at heart, and you're trying to find solutions with me. But I don't know. I don't know if going out shopping for a husband so that we can do the splitting of bills is a solution. But I see what you mean about the different kind of jobs that I can do. But you can make all this money, but if you don't know how to budget it, and if your bills are more than the money, then you will always be in that cycle. So that's what I'm trying to see. What loopholes do I have, or what things can I do to make life more, affordable? Marcy said, I've been working in America for almost 20 years. When I first arrived, I was making very little and struggled a lot. So when I graduated and got my first job, I decided to live on half of what I earned. People laughed at me. I drove an old car, lived in a cheap apartment with no cable, no traveling or eating out. I didn't even get my hair done. In about 9 years, I had enough money saved to buy a car and put down a payment on a house. I was making half of what I make now, actually. What they say is it's not how much you make, but how much you spend. Also, listen to Dave Ramsey, read his books. I followed all his tips, and it's why I'm financially free. Yes, I have a lot of recommendations for Dave Ramsey show. I do watch the Dave Ramsey show. I listen to it on radio as well, the podcast. And I have an idea of what I need to do. I just need to do it. I just need to do it. I think my bills increased in 2024, and I know why they increased. I just need to figure out how to pay the loans and credit cards and all that, and then I think I'll be back on track. Rose said some nurses live above their means. They are fooled by the title of the job nurse. Some go out and get a big house with a huge mortgage payment, about $2,500 plus a luxury car with a payment of 800 plus. The mortgage and car payment alone runs about $3,000 a month. Then add all the other bills and monthly expenses. So the monthly expenses runs above $6,000 a month. It is difficult to survive. You have to downsize. That's true. That's true. I think what happens is we get this money as nurses and we just go crazy with the expenditure. And so we live above our means, and not just nurses, but a lot of times when you have all this money and that you had not been exposed to, and you don't have the financial literacy to figure out what to do with it, what not to do, then you end up in this trap. Charlene says, my sister, stay encouraged. I'm also an RN. After working, slaving in MedSurg stroke/stroke unit for 16 years, I made up my mind to complete nurse practitioner school. Yet it's an investment. It was hard, but it has opened more doors for me. I work part-time doing virtual admissions, full-time working inpatient, hospice, and PRN vaccines with flu clinics. I'm able to do this as a single mom for my 15-year-old, and I actually don't feel stressed. The key is to find a side hustle that's not stressful and allows you to pay bills, save, and still go on mini vacation. You deserve it. Please take care. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, a lot of people are also saying well, you should advance your education, go back to school, become a nurse practitioner. That's an option. The issue is I'm still in debt from my RN school, so I'm not really trying to go back in debt, but yes, that's an option. Uncle Muli says it's now people say it's about time now people say the truth. America is not the land of milk and honey. It's amazing how people are bringing out the truth freely. Yeah, kimeumana. It looks like kimeumana. Uh, Kenny says, hi, Lucy, don't increase your hours, reduce your expenses. And yes, credit card debt you have to get out of. Reduce your expenses and increase the time for yourself. Meditation, gardening, prayer. The dream you're chasing, if it's financial, it will never come. It is the rat race. Reduce your material expenses, increase the time you need to find peace and happiness inside. Yes, as we grow older, I've noticed that as I grow older, like my peace, my mental health, my peace, and my relationships with the people that I care about is more important sometimes, is more important than money. My health, and especially my mental health, I cannot afford to lose my mind because everything that I've worked for, everything that I came here to do will be in vain. So I protect my peace. And when I realized that the American rat race was like about to take me out, I was like, no, I need to do something about it. I need to do something about it before something crazy happens. Joseph says you do not need to work more. You need to cut your expenses. There's no way your basic bills are eating up all your money. RN are well paid. Mortgage, utilities, insurance, gas for your car, cell phone are the needs you must have. Everything else is up to you how much you want to spend. If you have cable, then cancel it. I don't have cable. Change to Mint Mobile cell phone service. Take out cash for groceries and stick to that amount. That's a good idea. Everything else is savings and paying off debt. People complain about bills, yet the bills that are the problem are credit card debt used to buy stuff. Stop spending and use what you have. If you want to improve your finances, you have to sacrifice. True. That is so true. I don't even have anything else to add to that. That is so true. Melissa said, I guess it depends as a nurse what state you live in. That's true, by the way. I was going to say something about that. I think I had written some notes about that. Nursing salaries depend on the specialty, what kind of nurse are you, your location, geographical, what state are you in, what country. Are you a staff member or are you agency or are you working through the travel agency? How many years of experience do you have as a nurse? Sometimes it depends on your negotiation skills and the demand. How badly do they want you as a nurse? So a lot of factors come into play. All nurses are not paid equal, and therefore, that's why I said these are personal videos. I cannot generalize and say that all nurses are struggling. They're not. Melissa said, I guess it depends as a nurse what state you live in. My daughter is 37. Uh, is 37. She's been a nurse since she was 17. No debt, three children, and travels every 3 months and made $200,000 a year during COVID as a travel nurse. Yes, people made a lot of money during COVID. She owns a beautiful house in upstate New York where it's cheaper. She invests 1,500 a month into a trust. All the nurses she hangs out with are not living paycheck to paycheck. They are in her travel circles. My daughter did better than me in my 30s. I had to in catch up in just to live a simple life in my 50s with no car and add debt. So I travel the world when I want to. But America is just life. No dream was taught to us. Being born here with six generations back, it was always you work and you save. We are so used to work and spend. That is how we live in the debt system. Absolutely. We just spend, and then complain that we don't have any more money. Sky Consulting says, sending love your way from West Africa. You can do it. Be disciplined. You're already halfway done. You're already halfway there as you have identified your issues. Yes, I, I think the first thing is to acknowledge that you have a problem, a money problem. So yes, thank you. JKM says, Lucy, keep going, vouching for you, sacrifice 2025 to clear the debts, supporting you. That's the goal. The goal is for 2025 for that God will help me to come up with either other sources of income or just shrink down my expenses as much as I can so that by the end of 2025, I don't want to have any loans apart from my either the mortgage on the car because if you watched my video from last 2 days or something, my car loan is a little bit high. So hopefully I can clear that within a year or two if I'm able to. But those are the goals for 2025. So in today's video, we are talking about why Africans in America are drowning in debt, escape the rat race, and end money stress. So I'm reading some comments from the I Am Broke video that I did. People wondering why a nurse in the US is talking about she's broke. What is she doing with her money? She's just doing some crazy spending. And you guys don't realize that it can happen to any of us, and a lot of us are going through this. So let me see what you guys are saying in the comment section. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me know where you are watching from. Adoni K, I just left church. Glad to catch you live. Yes, thank you. Welcome. Ellie Correal, Ellie watching from Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur. Glad to be here. Welcome. Welcome. Smart logistics solutions. Is it possible to invest in Kenya so that Humana you just run home for refuge? Yes, good idea. Naima Joy, it is not how much you make, it is how you budget. Absolutely. Budgeting is key. I've been here 25 years and very comfortable. I'm sure. I'm sure. And like I said, I haven't always had money problems. Uh, Money problems they come and go, but I think this 2024 is the one that really pushed me to the edge completely because a lot of things happened. So I don't always have money problems. It's like sporadic here and there, like everybody else. But it's just that 2024 it really kicked my butt and threw me off financially. So that's why. But I see what you mean. I do budget. I do budget. I budget and I try to make sure that I know where every dollar is going so that I can keep track of that. Tarana said, yes, it's like living in a rat race trap where you know you deserve savings. Either you reduce expenses or increase income. Increase income, maybe you can add elderly care on a flexible schedule to your current job, like in the evenings. We do get into a comfort zone of new changes in career, of no new changes in career, and procrastinating because of lack of emotional support. Yeah, there are very, very many factors that contribute to what we do here in America. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that, and I don't mean this in a bad way, people who are not already in the US and have not gone through the experiences that we are talking about, they might not get a clear picture of what you do. Sometimes there's a saying that says, the person who is wearing the shoe, I don't know how you say it, the person that is wearing the shoe is the one that knows how much it pinches. So the people who are going through these experiences, they have a clear idea of what I'm talking about. And if you're in Kenya, you may not have, or other parts of the country, and you're not experiencing these things, you might not get it. And it might come off as we are just complaining and we have all these things at our disposal. How dare us complain? So excuse me, guys, if you don't understand what what we are going through. If you have an opportunity to come to the US, you may understand better. But just bear with us and just extend us grace and just know that we are not just complaining for the heck of complaining. These are things that are happening in real life. And guys, if you want to share your stories, you can send me an email, lucymwangiusa@gmail.com, and I can narrate your story here. Or if you want to join us live, I can send you a link. But I just wanted to clear that out, and hopefully you guys understand what I mean. Just Chilling says, I watch a lot of videos on the fire community on YouTube, and I've been following a lot of what they teach. Living frugally, paying off debt, and saving most of my income. That's the goal. That is the goal. Mavis, I am a nurse too. Being an African woman, it seems that you have been sending money back home for your family. I have been going through the same thing. Do travel nursing for about 2 years to pay all the bills, then stop. Is there anybody here who's doing travel nursing? Is it still a thing? Because the last time I worked as an agency nurse, when I first graduated, I worked as an agency nurse for like 6 months. And during the time that I was already working there, the administrator or whoever was in charge of the recruiter, she called me and she said that they are in the process. They gave me 3 months ahead, heads up for 3 months, and they said after these 3 months, we're not going to be having any agency contracts anymore. We are going to aggressively hire our own staff and pay them at a higher rate. So I have seen since then a decrease in the number of agencies and the number of people going out to work through agencies. So it's not as booming as it used to be, but I'm sure there are people still doing agency nursing and travel nursing. Violet says, you are an intelligent woman, and I'm sure you'll figure it all out. All the hardships make us stronger, not weaker. You're right. Absolutely right. I've been through a lot in this country. And so most of the things that I've been through are really good, really good. But the bad things that have happened to me have really like pushed me down. And it feels like every time something happens, it's really a major thing that happens that brings me all the way down. And so I find myself, like every 5 years or so, starting over again. Like I'm constantly starting over, and that just wears me out. Naima says, listen to Dave Ramsey, stay away from debt, live below your means. I have worked on myself for 10 years now. I have no debt. My only bills are electric and water, and of course, my taxes, insurance for the house. You can do it. Just make changes. Even assisting at home is on a budget. I don't send money home the way I used to. I am an RN and work only 70 hours every 2 weeks. I do small buying and selling online. Ramsey Show. Yes, I listen to the Ramsey Show and I watch them on YouTube. Thank you for that advice. A lot of people are talking about this black tax, sending money home, and just be strategic about it. I'm not saying don't help people at home, but be strategic. Be strategic about it. Albert says, nursing is a good career, but there are some challenges. Number one, don't spend $100,000 in student loans, private colleges. Number two, It is understandable that life is expensive when you have kids. Number three, don't compare your life with people who are not in your shoes. True. Number four, avoid credit cards. Cash is king. Number five, invest your money in stocks or mutual funds. Six, stop buying junk. Seven, avoid spending on emotions. Yes, like emotional spending. Yes. Uh, Eight, rent an extra space in your house. Nine, avoid unsecured loans and high interest loans. And then put in more hours if possible. And 11, prayer. I agree. I agree with your comments. Thank you so much, guys. I don't take it for granted that you guys take your time to send me these comments. And like I said in my previous live, I read your comments. I appreciate them. I try to absorb what I can. The advice that I can take, I take. The one that does not apply to me, I still appreciate you guys sending me the messages. Gadoni, you read my comment. I'm so excited. I'm the one who talked about living on half of what I earned for 9 years after getting my first professional job. Oh, okay. What? Tell us more about that. People talk about you, right? People talk about you when you first start and you're not buying all these big things, big houses. They're like, "Utabai lini nyumba? When are you going to buy a house? When are you going to buy? Why is she driving this old car?" But they don't know what your plan is. They don't know what your plan is. Thank you, Gadoni, for your comment. Thomas, yeah, good evening, Lucy Mwangi. Thomas from Kigali, Rwanda. I'm listening well to Rwanda. We love you so much. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Thomas is a great fan of the show. Kelvin Kamau. Hello, Kevin here from Zika. Glad to find you live. Karibu sana, Kelvin. Welcome to the live. Where are you guys watching from? Gadoni, where are you at? What state are you in? What state are you in, Gadoni? Gadoni, if you did any investments or how did you save your money? Did you put it in like a savings account or did you put it in like stocks? We're here to just share our experiences, share the things that are working, share the things that are not working, so that somebody else can learn from us. Mia says nursing pays good, especially if you work for an agency, but inflation is making everything extremely high. So it's even hard for people with good paying jobs, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Because we used to get the money and it used to be okay. But now it's like it's not cutting it anymore. It's that inflation. I'm pretty sure it is. And then our spending habits, of course. We're not going to blame everything on the government. It's also our responsibility to manage our money better and reduce our expenses. 255 Money says, no car, no subscription. Everything I have, which is not a lot, is paid in cash. I house share to keep my rent as low as possible. I've not even bought a piece of clothing for almost a year. My social life is dead. 40-minute walk to work, 6 days a week. God give me health and strength to keep this up for the next 10 years. I am 41 and I'm back in Kenya. I understand in the States, um, it's almost impossible to do without a car. All I can say is please avoid car payments. The small favors the UK has is free healthcare, it's deducted from our salary, and cheap and reliable public transportation. So you have an advantage in that. You have um you have an advantage in that. So kudos. All the best, man. Pad Salam says, when people say nurse, what type of nurse are you? I'm not asking, but there are different nursing and specialties: CNA, LPN, RN, CRNA. Everyone is struggling, but you are already a nurse. If you can be a CRNA or travel nurse. To make more, do it. Cut your bills, no subscriptions, no cable, food prep. Live below your means for a little while. You are right. I spoke to my cousin and she said you're supposed to have a second job, a side hustle, because you can't have one income anymore. Tell me about it. But for a long time now, since my husband died in 2018, I've been able to handle it. I've been able to do it until like 2024 is like, damn, I can't. That one income wasn't cutting it anymore. Also, if you have grown people that you have to send money back home to, you gotta tell them no. You can take care of a village. You can't take care of a village if you can't even provide for yourself. When the cash stops coming, they won't say what you're complaining about. Girl, you have the skill set, and Americans are struggling, and you have people living together in groups to make rent, and they have citizenship. And yeah, this is a struggle. It is. It's a struggle. And like I said in the beginning of the video, for those who are just joining in, welcome to the live. I said that we will be starting our days with a dose of vitamin G. Vitamin G for gratitude. We are grateful for everything that we have. We know that there are people who have lost everything in California with the fires and everything. We know that there are people who are worse off than us. So we start by thanking God for everything that we have and for the blessings, for blessing us with much more than we deserve. Black Cricket says, what about food? I know African food tends to be expensive in the US. Maybe looking at canned food for a few days out of the week and African food on the weekend or whatever works. Yeah, at this point, it's whatever works because 2025 is the year to be debt free. John Duty TV says, meanwhile, here back home, we are waiting for our cut. Black tax is a must. Joe Watcher jokes. Black tax need to go. People need to give us a chance. When new immigrants come to the US, they need time. And I know John Duty TV did a video about that. People need time to figure themselves out when they first come to the US before starting to send all this money back home. Get a grip of yourself, figure out what you want to do, figure out your finances, have a plan, and then you can start now sending money if that's what you want to do. Curvy Natural says the only way to live comfortably is to move outside of big cities. Inflation has taken over everything in the US and have cut back dramatically. I'm also a nurse. During the pandemic, I knew those rates were unsustainable, so I stashed my earnings and invested wisely. Dave Ramsey is a lifesaver. Yeah, so this is what I did during COVID. I was an LPN then, and I know what you're saying, and it makes sense. I stashed my money, my I stashed my savings, but I used it for school. I used it when I went back to school. I used it to pay all my bills for that year and a half that I was in school. So that's where my COVID money went. Dante Prince, good afternoon. You have stayed in the US for how long? For many years, Dante. For 20 something years, yes. Nyawera Damaris. Hello, Dama, watching you from Nairobi, Kangundo Road, Kenya. Hi, Damaris. Sasa Dama, thank you for watching. How's it going? Dama, here we are in winter. It's so cold. I don't know if you watched my videos of me shoveling the snow early in the morning before going to work. That stuff is annoying. That stuff is annoying. I think that's one of the downsides of the US is the weather. Although here in Delaware, we have to be grateful. We're grateful that we don't get so much snow. But when we get it, of course, we complain the whole time. And of course, when it rains a little bit or when it snows a little bit, people act like they don't know how to drive anymore. So the roads are bad and the accidents are many. And yeah, but we thank God we don't have like heavy snow. Anthony says, cut your unnecessary expenses, finish paying up your credit cards ASAP. Only use your credit card on gas only and pay it up ASAP. Reduce your spending, downgrade your lifestyles. Teach yourself to repair things by yourself when they break down if you can. This way you avoid buying the same things over and over or avoid paying someone to fix it. Finally, live a simple life and be content with it. Avoid visiting people every weekend. You will be able to reduce spending. Eat homemade foods and avoid fast food. Fast foods are too costly. This is how I survive here in Texas. Buy a good used car, pay cash, and get liability insurance. Good luck. So these are just tips that I'm getting from different people in different states, in countries, about how, and not just me. So when I put myself out there as a somebody who is struggling financially, it is not just for me. It is it's not just for me. It's for other people that can use this information, and that's why I'm reading these comments because I know I'm not the only one who can benefit from this information. There are a lot of people out there who find this information beneficial. So I thank you guys for sending me these comments. Read the Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover book. The book has the financial roadmap that you want. The roadmap is called The Seven Baby Steps. Okay. Marcy said, where do you live, Lucy? In the city where I live, nurses make good money and they are able to save because the cost of living is lower. Maybe you can try moving to a smaller town. I'm also Kenyan and I live in a small town where the cost of living isn't too high. That's true, but doesn't that correlate? Like if the cost of living is low, then the pay is low? Or how does that work? Which town do you live in? Because a lot of people have given me like examples of where I should move. People are like moving to the south is the best bet. In PA, yeah, I'm not sure which state. Some people say South Dakota, South Carolina, Georgia. But I thought Georgia is expensive, or is it Atlanta that is expensive? Grace says paying bills is inevitable everywhere. However, if after bills you have little or no money left, then it's time to make some tough decisions. Hand to mouth is not sustainable for the long term. You're right. You are right. Elijah said, but everyone tells us that nurses make a lot of money. If you come to the USA, everyone tells you to do nursing. If you do another degree, the fellow Americans laugh at you. Not anymore. Not anymore. You can do whatever you want. Why do you even listen to people, what people have to say? Like, have your goals and it's your life. You are the CEO of your. So don't let negative comments or negative persuasions divert you from your goal, Elijah. Thank you for your comment. So I did say to Elijah, nurses make more money. They make money, but it looks like the system takes it all back. It's best not to listen to what people say about you. Do what you want and love. And he says, it's really hard to make ends meet, especially when you're a single mom. The system here is designed for the rich, not struggling people like us. I know people who are nurses, and I didn't know that they have the same struggles like us social workers. Because the nurses I see here in my state live like people in Congress. But that's true, because yeah, nurses can make a lot of money. but we also live on debt. We buy things on credit, and then we buy all these flashy things. We live flashy lives, and then all this is in debt. This is what people don't understand, especially the ones we left back home. They think that we have it all. And sometimes when you express your feelings to them, they think we are complaining. I myself have lived here a long time, and I think we feel stressed out because we left before experiencing defeat in our countries. We were young and had not enjoyed life yet, so we missed out on a lot. That's true. When you come here, like when I came here, I was, I think, 20 something, 20 something. But I had already worked a little bit. I had worked a little bit, but I was still young. I was still young. I didn't even. So when you come here, your life, you have to start from the bottom again. So instead of continuing with like my dating life and all that, the life, the trajectory of life, it's like you're going like this, and then you have to dip. You have to start all over again, and then um, like structure your life path after that. Tony, you are in Tennessee. Okay, great. This is Gadoni. I invested in stocks. I also bought a house here and used the profits from the sale to build permanent apartments back home. Good idea. So, okay. So you bought the house that you bought. Gadoni, sorry if I'm intruding so much. I'm just asking so that I can get an idea of like I also have a house and I'm trying to figure out what to do with my house. So I'm open to suggestions and ideas. So you invested in stocks and you bought a house here and used the profits from the sales to build apartments back home. So did you then leave the house and live in an apartment, or did you buy another house that you live in? Kevo, hi Kevin, hi Kevo. I don't think it's how much you make; it's about your expenses. You're right. You're right. You're right. Wow, I like this, Kanani. I like this conversation. So I appreciate you guys joining the live and participating in these conversations. I appreciate it so much. Mercy says, "Hey Lucy, thank you for sharing your journey. Indeed, not as easy as possible. Think also a healthcare worker and a time came. Also a healthcare worker and a time came where I had to shift my mindset. Uh, an online digital business would be of interest. Reach out to me." Okay, I think I did. One of the best lessons I have also learned is to say no. Yeah, I had to learn that. I had to learn that because I was always a yes man. I would say yes to everything else. I think I was very gullible, and I feel like at some point people started taking advantage of your kindness. People take your kindness for weakness, and if you don't show your money where to go, like if you don't have consistent budget and you're telling your money this is where every dollar is going to go, and then somebody texts you and they need $50 for something, you're just going to keep sending the money without being in having any strategy. TM says, Caribbean immigrant here. While you did not disclose your debt, I went to the same struggle because I had over $40,000 in debt back in 2018. Wow, that's a lot. I started following Dave Ramsey, and within a year, yes, a year, I paid off my debt entirely and I've been able to manage things a lot better. I have a 3 month emergency fund and various sinking funds. If you have debt, no matter how much you make, it never seems to be enough. I've been watching your videos the past few days and I resonate with everything you say about the struggles we are going through. But take my advice. Get rid of the debt and do everything in your power to stop accumulating more debt. Budget like your life depends on it. It does not, it does, you can do this. Just being here talking about it, being aware of it is a step in the right direction. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, TG. Thank you. It's very encouraging to see that people are coming out and sharing their experiences, especially the ones here in the US. When I first posted my video, I wasn't sure even if I should post the video because I was like, this is going to be embarrassing, and people who know me will be like, oh my God, and they will think that, you're an RN, you have all this money. But then I was like, what if I'm not the only one? What if I'm not the only one going through this? And what if I can get a response of people who are going through the same? And I did, and it's encouraging to see that we are a lot of us are in the same boat, and therefore we appreciate you guys coming in with different comments and different suggestions and different solutions to this problem. We want to succeed because the more of us succeed, the stronger we'll become as a community of immigrants, and the more also we'll be able to help people back home. The more we'll be able to invest at home, if that's the choice that we make, and the happier that we'll be, the less the depression. The less the depression, the levels of depression here in the US are very high. People are very depressed, people are stressed because of just the rat race, the cost of living, so many pressures here and there, left, right, and center. And so, and people don't talk. There's no sense of, okay, I have a problem. Let me speak it out. People don't speak it out because they fear being stigmatized. They fear being talked about. They fear being laughed at. So people are dying with their problems. So let's stop that. So now we all know we are struggling. Most of us are struggling financially. So now let's come up with solutions about what we can do as opposed to pointing fingers and laughing and gossiping and talking behind people's backs about how financially, uh, how poor they are and how they're in the US and can afford a gallon of milk. So we need to stop that so that we can reduce the the depression rates, the rates of suicide, and a lot of health issues that are affecting us as immigrants here in the US. Fred Gibbs, they're drowning in debt because they decided to put all their money in Africa first. The smart thing is to invest in America first. When America business is doing good, take the money and go to Africa. You know what? That's a good point. That's a very good point because what happens is when we come to the US, I don't know why we feel like we have to start buying projects back home, building these apartments, building these big mansions, and this and that and the other. But it makes sense that if you have a business here, you can convert that money. The dollar is stronger than, let's say, in Kenya. So if your business is booming here, you are more likely to succeed and buy property back home at a, it will be more affordable. So that makes sense actually. Once the American business is bringing constant dollars, then you go and build your house in Africa. Yeah, we do it the opposite way. We save or we borrow money, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. That's what a lot of people do. They save or they borrow money and they build homes back home. Some of those homes and nobody's staying in them. They're not bringing you any income. And then instead of like building themselves here so that they can use that money to, and that's most of the people, not everybody, not everybody. Once your business is making at least $10,000 a month, you can go and take the risk in Africa. That's true. That is true. Nathan, Hi, Nathan Ontegi, watching currently the clip you did with my best friend John Duty. Kweli mumeamua kutuambia the reality of American dream. Big up. Thank you. Nathan, thank you for being a supporter of my channel. I think since the beginning, since I started the channel in 2023. So I appreciate you continuing to watch my videos as we grow. I know when I first started, I was doing what was I doing? How to come to the US, assisting people with ideas and information of how to come to the US. And now that I have so many videos about that, and if that's where you want to be, you can go check out my videos. I have a playlist about the DB3, B1, B2 visas, all those playlists are there. So I have information for you. So now I've shifted my focus to life in the US and the struggles that we are going through, not only the struggles, but also the triumphs. Also the triumphs, because there are a lot of people who are succeeding as well. So I don't want to be the prophet of doom, you know. I don't want to be the prophet of doom, and all I'm saying is just the negative things and how I'm struggling, right? I want us to also talk about the good things that are happening. Like Gadoni. Gadoni is telling us that she struggled in the beginning. She did what she needed to do to have a comfortable life now. So it's possible. It's possible to curate your own American dream and follow through and work towards it and achieve it. So I love where the channel is going, and I love the conversations that we are having. So let's keep it going. Okay. Thanks for reading all my yes, Gadoni. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You're welcome, and thanks for tuning in. Your house in Africa is not bringing any money. Your house in America is bringing dollars in rent. You're right, and you can use some of those that money that you're making the profits to start the businesses in Kenya. We are learning a lot. We are learning a lot on these channels. Roads and routes Kenya. Hi there, watching from Kino. Hi guys. Hi guys. Welcome. Welcome wherever you're watching from. Kevo, I discovered your channel recently and I resonate with a lot. I've made mistakes buying land out of pressure from my family, yet I didn't intend to develop. Invest in yourself and in this country. Kevo Koapi, where are you? What state are you in, Kevo? Fred says, buying land at Kevo. Buying land is okay. Just don't develop it yet. Get your business successful in America. Once your American business is making money, you can slowly start developing your land. Okay, Uko Texas. Okay, thanks for joining me from Texas and from different parts of the US. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's talk about Izo Mashamba, the plots that we buy. I was gonna make a different video about it, but now that you guys brought it up, what is it that is it a must that when we come here that we have to buy land? Like what? Who said that? Who started that? That when we come to the US, lazima to buy shamba. Like it's just a thing that it's like we have to buy land. And then I think they know how to get us, the people in diaspora. They sell us these 50 by 100 plots in the remotest part of the country in the hope that after 20 years or whatever years, we're going to, the place is going to develop and then we're going to, um, how many people here in this live have ever bought land that they don't even know where the land is, the piece of land is? Why do we do that? We have different pieces of land scattered all over the country instead of like buying one piece of land in a prime area. I don't know. I don't know why we do that. I don't know why we do that, but Anyway, someone says, I agree with the reducing of spending. We are talking about why Africans in America are drowning in debt. That's the title of our topic for today. Escape the rat race and money stress. How can we escape the rat race and how can we end the money stress? We are stressed because we are making money, but the bills are too many. I agree with reducing spending and saving and investing comments. Compounding interest is a real thing and very powerful. And to be honest, while this does not apply to you, not having kids is actually a very smart move nowadays. Think about what kind of world these kids will be inheriting and what they'll have to deal with. It will be exponentially worse than today. What? Kids are expensive everywhere. Kids are really expensive in the US. Kids are really expensive in the US. Fred Gibbs says, my friend has a successful restaurant in America. Once the restaurant became successful, that's when he started building his house in Africa. He built his house with Airbnb rentals in it. Yes, yes, we get it, we get it. Never build your house if you're not in Africa. You only want to run your business in Africa when you're ready to live in when you're ready to live in Africa. So, a lot of conversation surrounding buying land in Kenya and building a house that you're not going to live in. And if you're not going to be able to like lease it out or use it as for Airbnb purposes, then the house is just sitting there. The house is just sitting there. Let me see if I'm missing any comments. You guys watch Dave Ramsey? How many people on this live watch Dave Ramsey? Because a lot of comments here saying that I should keep watching Dave Ramsey. Somebody said the new American dream is to save up, invest, and live. It has always been a scam. Rudi Kenya ufanye ukulima if it gets worse, but I should go back home and do farming. Kodu says, I see people all the time glamorizing nursing. If you're an RN, I hope you don't owe money to a school. Yes, I do. If that's the case, then this is the reason why I chose not to get my RN. Or maybe you need to move to another state where RNs make more. Yeah, you're right. Moving, um, moving might be my last option because uprooting somebody's life when you have children is not it's not easy, but it's not impossible either. Somebody said this was clickbait. Oh, let me read that one. JR said, I understand the need to start a podcast, but lack of information, meaning your income versus your expenses, we do not know. Just saying I'm underwater with no relevant numbers. This looks like clickbait. Watch Dave Ramsey for guidance on how to live debt free, even for small earners. why would I? Why would I clickbait? I wish it was. I wish it was just clickbait, man. But it's not. Then he said, good luck in your endeavors to achieve financial freedom in 2025. Stay consistent and learn to say no to frivolous spending. Dining out is also a budget buster. Yeah, you're right. Right. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Peter Harris says, why don't you go get married and split the bill? Peter, I made a whole video to answer that question. What? Mm-mm. It's an endless pit. move to a cheaper state. So I think those are the comments from that video. So thank you guys for participating in that conversation. In fact, Fred says about building a house in Africa. In fact, don't build your house first. Build an apartment complex and save one apartment for yourself while you rent the others. Good idea. In time, then you build your dream house. These are good ideas. These are good suggestions, good recommendations, and I appreciate you guys joining my live. I just wanted to come up here and read the comments because I know a lot of you are spending a lot of time watching my videos and leaving me comments, suggestions, reactions. Some of them are criticizing me for overspending, and yet I'm making all this money. But until you're walking in somebody's shoes and you feel the pinch, uh, you don't exactly know what that person is going through. So please be take it easy on the on the judgment part. Uh, but I know that once I put myself out here, I'm susceptible to any kind of criticism, which is fine. Which is fine because I made the choice to put my business out there. So I appreciate you guys participating in this live. I will read a few more comments and then we'll call it a day because it's already been 1 hour and 10 minutes past the live. Do you advise new immigrants to do nursing? Absolutely, yes. It, um, you'll get the job quicker. You'll get good money, but you have to have a plan of what you want to do with your money. Don't just get don't just get money and then you just dishing it out with no plan. Because if you don't, like I said before, if you don't tell your money where to go, it will tell you where it's gonna go. So have a budget and just know what your vision and your goals are for that money. Brian, hello Lucy. Ongea Kikuyu kidogo. Ohana atia. Haya, najua Kikuyu. Brian, I know Kikuyu. I know fluent. No, it might not be fluent, but I know Kikuyu. I know Swahili, so I can hold conversations in both. Nijue Kikuyu. Where are you from? Brian, where are you from? Weko, 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 Weko. Oh, I know that sound. That's terrible. Roads and routes. Hey, Lucy, I need your opinion. If I am in Kenya and my gross salary is 200K, can you advise me to relocate to USA? So I can't advise people on what to do with their lives and their money, but 200,000 per month is good money. It's good money, but you can make more here. I think I'm doing the calculation. It looks like 200,000 if I use the rate of 125, if I use the rate of 125, it's like $1,600. $1,600, you can make more than that. But then I said the cost of living here is high. And then it depends on your goals and your dreams and what your focus is. What do you want to do? Because you could be making that 200,000 shillings in Kenya and live a very happy and fulfilling life. And you can come here and make 500,000 uh, shillings a month and be miserable and want to run back home as soon as you figure things out here. So it's up to you. It's up to you. But you can make a lot more money here. LG, yes, do nursing. We will always have nursing homes here. Yeah, nursing homes. Healthcare is one of those things that you will always be assured of a job, depending regardless of which specialty you decide to take: emergency medicine, maternity, pediatrics. medical, surgical, hospice, uh, orthopedics, which whatever you decide to do, there will always be a need for somebody to take care of somebody. So nursing is one of those professions that you will find a job. You will find a job and you will get paid. Do you guys have any other questions? If you don't have any other questions, we're going to close the live. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a live every Sunday around this time, 1 o'clock. So make sure you join me then. If you have some topics about life in America that you want us to address, you can leave them in the comment section, and we can schedule a live for that. Yadoni, I'm also curious to know what people are doing with the land that people are buying in Kenya. I inherited land in a prime area and built apartment cash. Those returns are very good. Eh, Yadoni, yani you angukiad, you inherited land in a prime area and you built apartments. That's excellent. I don't know what people are doing with the lands that we bought, the pieces of land that we bought in scattered areas of the world, especially in Kenya. I think we need to start talking about things like those because when you first come in as a new immigrant, you I don't know, we make so many mistakes, and some of those mistakes are kind of irreversible because, like those lands, when you try to sell them, nobody wants to buy that land. Nobody's trying to buy that land. First of all, it's so far away. Second of all, I don't know when development will ever get there. And no wonder they were selling them at 250,000 shillings. And you don't stop to ask yourself, why is this land being sold at 275, right? So, man, I don't know. I think if I were to do it all over again, I would not buy that land. That's one of the things that I wouldn't buy because it's just money now, just sitting there. Money sitting there. I could have like bought stocks with that money. By this time, the returns would be because that was a while ago. You know what I mean? So there are things that we do when we first come here, and it's because of ignorance. It's because of we don't know. We don't know any better, and also lack of exposure. If this is the first place that you ever came to, like me, I had not traveled before that. I had not traveled in. I think I had not traveled anywhere anywhere else. So when the first place that you travel is the US, the greatest land of all, you're given all these opportunities. So you're trying to maximize these opportunities, and sometimes you're coming from a place of ignorance and you don't have enough information to make the purchases that you're making. Fort Major, hi, welcome to the live. Buying land in Kenya as diaspora doesn't make sense. As a diaspora doesn't make sense while there is plenty in diaspora to buy. True. You know, you know what's funny? I'd never even thought of buying land here in the US. I don't know why our minds are always stuck on buying land back home. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I have to start looking into those opportunities of buying land in the US versus buying land in Kenya. Right. Dante Prince, can you host DV lottery selectee? No, I don't. I don't do hosting services. Maybe in the future, but for right now, no. Yeah, I think I read all your comments, guys. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate you guys. I hope that you'll join me again on Sunday next week. If you have any further questions, leave them in the comment section below. Have a great, great Sunday afternoon. Thank you guys for watching.